So you're on social media and say you want to connect with a particular group. If you're looking to connect with young activists in your community or LGBTQ families or interfaith families, people who have multiple religious identities, people who care about climate change, these are all kinds of groups that are full of prospective Unitarian Universalists. And so what tools does social media offer for making that connection? Lots of tools. And some of them cost money and some of them are free. Here is an example on Twitter. On Twitter, you can search for a hashtag and just in their search box. So let's search for Black Lives Matter. And there, while you're in that search, you can go over to the More Options menu, which is on the right side if you're using Twitter on a computer. And you can scroll down the menu and choose Near You. And then you start to see tweets about Black Lives Matter from people who are near you, which is pretty cool. So then you can look over those tweets and say, okay, what are people in my area concerned about with this? What are they engaging with? Is this event that we're doing on Black Lives Matter or this sermon that we're preaching about Black Lives Matter, is that something that's going to engage with this group? Let's see. And so you can tweet about it with that hashtag to the group. You can also see who in the group seems like they have a large following and say, wow, there's somebody who has a following of like 5,000 people who is tweeting about Black Lives Matter right near me. And I really like what they're saying and the way that they're positioning themselves. I'm going to invite them specifically to tweet about our event, which is part of the culture of Twitter. You can say, please RT. You can send something directly to an account and say, please retweet, please RT. And people often do, even if they don't know you. If they feel like they're supporters of your cause, they will. So people who have large followings are often called influencers. And you can also find out who are some of the biggest influencers who follow your account on Twitter through some of the tools to understand your own reach and your own influence on Twitter, which is also free. You can also on Facebook, you could go and find out who likes the Unitarian Universalist Association near you by just entering into the search box people who like Unitarian Universalist Association and live nearby. It's kind of amazing. It's called the graph search. It doesn't work for all the things that people can like. Like I tried people who like 350.org and live near me. That didn't work. But it works for some things. People who like the UUA Facebook page, it works for. People who like certain organizations like, for example, The Daily Show. I found people who like The Daily Show and live in Medford, Massachusetts, and got a whole huge list of people. So you can play with this graph search and just find out people who like X and live nearby, people who like X and live in a certain community, and you'll see what you get. And you can invite those folks particularly to like your page. And to connect with them. And whether or not they might actually be familiar with your congregation, if they go to your page and they see that you care about similar things to them, they're likely to like you. There are also other tools for targeted outreach on Facebook. One of them is called Audience Insights, which is available even if you don't have a paid Facebook advertising account. It's a little tricky to find, so you need to follow some of the links that we share with you about how to get into that interface. But through Audience Insights, you can tell a lot about the people who like your page, their demographics, what they like, and what their online behavior is. And you can also ask it to tell you information about anyone who's on your congregational mailing list who's also on Facebook. So you can upload a list of emails of people in your congregation. And if those emails are associated with accounts on Facebook, it'll give you that same kind of demographic information about what they like, information about their online behavior that it would if they already were people who liked your page. So that's helpful to just find out more about your community. It doesn't show you specific information about specific people, but it does tell you trends in the people who follow your page and like your page. as Carrie mentioned, you can do paid advertising to very specific select groups with Facebook. You could promote the upcoming Emma's Revolution concert to all people who like the Indigo Girls or like marriage equality in your community. You could promote your justice events to nearby people who like the 350.org website or the new Jim Crow book by Michelle Alexander, or who like Black Lives Matter. You could promote your religious education programs to all the people who like Montessori or homeschooling in your area. There are lots of possibilities. It's amazing what social media can do to help us find the right people and to build relationships with them if we know how to use it and access the tools.